Hey guys, Joe here. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Red. In the last episode, my microphone wasn't working and I had to do post-commentary. And we also kind of took down an evil organization. This time, we're going to be heading back to Lavender Town and taking on the Lavender Tower. And seeing what all these talks about ghosts, if they're true or not. So let's head in. This is the one place in Lavender Town that I actually did not explore when we did our tour of it. So let's talk to everyone in here. I came to pray for my Clefairy. I can't stop crying. Oh, okay. Did you come to pay respects? Bless you. That was the worst voice I probably could have given that. My Growlithe, why did you die? All these direct references to death feel so weird for Pokemon. I mean, obviously this is a different time. This is like 25 years ago, but even so. Pokemon Tower was erected in the memory of Pokemon that had died. This sucks, man. I am a Chandler. Chandler from Friends? You're Chandler from Friends? Exciting. There are spirits up to mischief. I probably should not be making joke references in the middle of a graveyard. What are you doing here, sir? This is not, what are you doing here, friend? Hey, Joe, what brings you here? Your Pokemon don't look dead. Hey, I can at least make them faint. Let's go, pal. Yup. On a graveyard. Your rival challenges you. He has 5 Pokemon, so, be prepared for at least a little bit of a challenge. He starts with a Pidgeotto, level 25. So, this could be a little bit of a challenge. I would actually probably recommend going to Erica's gym first and beating the Celadon City gym before coming here. Purely because, I mean, it kind of makes sense because because you actually need the Silph Scope to get in here, or at least make progress in this tower. And realistically, because you're in Celadon anyway, when you take on the Rocket Hideout, you're probably going to take on the gym while you're there. His second Pokemon there was Growlithe, and that is a Fire type, level 23. His next Pokemon after that is going to be an Execute, a brand new Pokemon, and that egg in the background looks freaking massive. Like if you compare that to an Execute that's in these days, like you gotta play Fire Red and Leaf Green, for example, and you find an Execute. I mean, sure, the main egg is is bigger than the others, but that is just ridiculous. And considering how threatening it looks, I'm actually kind of sad that it went down so quickly. His fourth Pokemon is Kadabra, which can be a little bit of a trouble because, I mean, we know how decent its special attack stat is, but it's only level 20. So it's really no problem at all. And also, I am ridiculously overleveled, so that's also kind of part of it. And his final Pokemon is his starter. His final Pokemon is his starter. Obviously, if you started with Charmander, he'll have Water Sword at this point. If you start with Squirtle, he'll have Ivysaur, and if you started with Bulbasaur, he'll have Charmeleon. So make sure to have a Pokemon that is suited for each purpose. It's level 25, similar to its Pidgeotto, and we can take it out here using Absorb. You can do this fight as soon as you get out of Rock Tunnel and into Lavender. However, you can't make progress past this battle unless you have the Silph Scope. So that's why I'm doing this after I have the Silph Scope. I took it easy on you too, and we kind of thrashed him, to be honest. How's your Pokemon go? How's your Pokedex coming, pal? I just caught a Cubone. I can't find the grown-up Marowak yet. I doubt there are any left. Well, I better get going. I've got a lot to accomplish, pal. Smell you later. And Barry goes away again. Anyway, time to go to the tower. Even we could not identify the wayward ghosts. A Silph Scope might be able to unmask them. Yep, and now that we have that, we can make some progress. So, let's go. Hypno's fine. And there are plenty of people to fight in here. This is kind of I'd go as far as saying this is basically like the 4th dungeon. First was Viridian Forest, second was Map Moon, third was Rock Tunnel, I don't really count Diglett's Cave, and now 4th is the Pokemon Tower. So, all of these Chandlers are possessed. I mean, look at them. they really look possessed. And all of them will be using Ghastlies or Haunters. So if you have any Psychic-type Pokemon, then this is the perfect place to bring them, because this will be the easiest training session they've ever had. Ghastlies are really weak, their defenses aren't really that good. And I believe they're part Poison-type in this game. If they're not, you should start needing time. Actually, let's check, because I didn't really see if it was super effective before. But while we're here, there are some new encounters in this place. Ghastly is a Ghost and Poison type. There's the proof. It's a Ghost Poison type. It evolves into Haunter at level 25, and then via trade, you can trade a Haunter to get a Gengar. And Gengar's a really good Pokemon, and it's something I recommend all of the trade evolution Pokemon because they're all really good. But Gengar's really good. It's one of the few, if not only, Ghost types in the entirety of Pokemon Red and Blue. I think the Ghastly line is the only, are the only Ghost types in the game actually, and they're really good. They're really fast as well. So like, if you can get a Gengar and you can use the combination of Hypnosis and Dream Eater, then you'll pretty much be set to take on a lot of people, especially because of how fast it is. So yeah, if you have access to another Game Boy, I'd recommend catching a Ghastly. Hypno at level 33 is trying to learn Poison Gas, which, as we've seen before, is a move that attempts poison. I'm not going to learn this because I think, other than Confusion, my moveset's pretty good, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my only, well, technically my only Psychic move for the potential chance of poison. There is a move I will be replacing Confusion with coming up, but right now I don't see a need to take. I don't see a need to get rid of it, and my other three moves are very important. Hypnosis and Dream Eater are an obvious combination that I need to use with each other, and Headbutt's a move that I would use to hit anything that Confusion is not effective against. So yeah, we have to kind of free all these Chandlers from their possessive state, and we have to make some progress in the tower. One other Pokemon that you can find in here is Cubone. Cubone, I think I've already explained a bit before, because I think you might have had a chance to find it in Rock Tunnel, but I'm not 100% sure about that at this point. But you can definitely find it here. It's a ground type and evolves into Marowak at level 28. I love Marowak a lot, and if I did, as I think as I said before, if I wasn't using a Nidoking, I'd probably try using a Marowak in this. Because Cubone and Marowak, they're really cool. I really like their design, and I like how they work. Considering you're meant to come to this place after getting the Sylph Scope, the levels are really forgiving. I mean, all of these Chandlers mostly have like 1 or 2 Pokemon each, and they're mostly all Ghastlies. And they're all 10 levels below my current Pokemon. I mean, maybe that might just be because I'm over-leveled, which is kind of confusing, because with the exception of like training for Brock at the start, I have not done any like off-screen training for anyone, other than like catching up some of the weaker members of my team to get up with the main members of my team, like when I caught Drowsy, for example. So like, I haven't really done like as much training. I've just been battling all the wild Pokemon and battling all of the trainers in the game to try and get a full experience. Which is exactly what I would recommend you guys doing. I mean, it may not seem like you're getting much, because unlike in the remakes of this game, you can't see the experience points bar. But you can, but like, I promise, all of the experience you're getting adds up. Like, for example, I'm killing all the Ghastlies in here because they're all going to give me a decent amount of experience. And although 257 may not seem like much because, like, you're not leveling up, they all do add up eventually. So, yeah, as I've said before, I would definitely recommend, you know, going through and battling all of the Pokemon you see here. Here's a Cubone, by the way, just proof that you can actually catch it in here. We're going to one-shot it though, because we can. I honestly should have used Headbutt there to save Confusion PP, but oh well. And here is the rare Haunter. Haunter is a rare Pokemon which you can find in here, in the wild. I don't know if you can find this in blue, actually. It might only be in red. Because I know in Leaf Green and Fire Red, I believe you can find a Wild Haunter in Fire Red, but you can't in Leaf Green for some strange reason. But yeah, it's a rare chance of you encountering a Haunter. But if you can, definitely catch it, especially if you have access to another Game Boy, as I said. Haunter is actually quite good, and I actually used a Haunter in my Pokemon Blue playthrough on my Game Boy cartridge. I didn't have access to another game at the time, but I had a Kadabra and a Haunter on my final team, and they were still really good. They both pulled their weight despite being not fully evolved. So, I mean, if you guys are worried about that, I can still comment from experience that they are still very good Pokemon. So just try them out. Definitely not bad additions to any team. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of this floor here, and obviously since Hypno's reached another 2 levels, I've swapped him out for now for Nidoking. Nidoking is going to have a bit harder over time in here though, considering normal type attacks do not hit ghost type moves at all. So because of that, I have to use different attacks. As for Nidoking, I'm going to be using Thunderbolt. I could also use Poison Sting, but because Ghastly is part poison, it would do barely anything, so Thunderbolt is the best move I've got. Also, what Ghastly just did there is Lick. Lick is a move that has a chance to paralyze you. I was expecting it to go somewhere else, but it didn't. We can cure that pretty quickly, though. Let's head up to the next floor. We're actually on the second to last floor here, I believe, so we're getting there. Let's go fight this one. You shall join us. This is really creepy. Like, if you're just like a kid and you load up your game, like excited to play some Pokemon, you're about to progress through the story and head into the Pokemon Tower, you find all these like creepy Chandlers who are just like, you shall join, like zombies, like that would probably creep you out as a kid. Nightshade is a pretty good move. It does damage equal to the amount of equal to your Pokemon's level, similar to Seismic Toss. It's basically another version of that. And yeah, every time you defeat a Chandler, they'll all be like, "What a nightmare! You've saved me." Come, child, I sealed this place with the white magic. You can rest here. And if we go in here, all our Pokemon get fully restored to full health. So if you are struggling coming through this place, there is a halfway, kind of, not even halfway point, like the third of the way through point, where you can heal up your team, which is quite nice. This is also quite good because it will restore any PP of one of your Pokemons. Like for example, right now, I mean, I was starting to use up quite a bit of Thunderbolt because Thunderbolt isn't enough to one-shot the Ghastlies in here, because I'm not getting the same type of attack bonus from Nidoking. Also, its special attack is not as good as its physical, but it's still good against like water types and such, which is the reason I got it, because Nidoking is easily countered by water types being a ground type, so having that electric move is really good for coverage. That's the reason I gave it that. I'm not cutting out any battles in here purely because I think the encounter rate is fairly low in here. And plus there's a few things I want to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about all the specifics about why I'm doing certain moves the way I am doing it, like why I've given Thunderbolt to Nidoking, and a bunch of other things like that. In terms of other moves I could give Nidoking can learn a lot of TMs. There are a lot of TMs that I can give it. The only one at the moment I'm considering is Horn Drill, and that is purely because I don't know how it works yet. After I finish doing a couple of episodes here, because I'm doing I always do my episodes in sessions. So like whenever I go to record some episodes, I go and do a few at a time, just because I find it easier that way, because when I start playing a game, I enjoy it and I want to play more of it. So that's why I kind of record multiple sessions at once. I get paralyzed again there by Lick, but Lick doesn't do too much damage. I'm pretty sure it's a ghost type attack, but I mean, we can still attack no problem. It just lowers our speed, so we're slower than the opponent, but even that is nothing that can stop us. Woo! And yeah, I mean, we can just go here to heal up our party back to full health anyway. So we can actually, okay, yeah, we can get around this woman, good. Give me your soul, Jesus Christ. This place is really dark, isn't it? We got another Chandler here, she has a Haunter. This place actually seems harder than the remakes, because in the remakes, all of these girls, except I think one, has just a Ghastly. No one has a I think only one person in this entire place has a Haunter. Everyone else seems to have just Ghastly, so it is nice to see more variety in Pokemon. I mean, there wasn't really much they could do in this generation, because the Ghastly line are the only ghost types in the game. It's like there isn't really too much that they could do with variety, but I do like that they did give I do like that they gave some of the Chandlers ghost Haunters. What is with my words? I feel like whenever I record, my commentary just kind of goes out the window. I feel like I should have some kind of like script or something that has a specific list of things I can talk about, but currently I don't, so that isn't happening. And honestly, I don't think it would really give me blood. What on earth? And like, I don't think it would really change much, to be honest. I'm just kind of myself. I act myself on camera. I don't want to like script anything together. I don't really think that's really necessary. I want to be as, natural as I can. There's the critical hit I've been waiting for. I've been wondering why I hadn't got any of those lately from Nidoking. Very glad we finally got one off. With another Thunderbolt. It's not that good of a move in terms of our current location, but it's the best move I've got that can hit these guys, and if I'm going to train up Nidoking, it's all I can do. Nidoking is getting kind of low on health though for all these Nightshades, so I'm probably going to give him a Super Potion by the end of this. Just to make sure he gets healed up to a decent amount of health for things coming up. Ghastly! Thunderbolt. And there's another critical. Beautiful. That takes out all of this girl's Pokemon. Grow! Let's quickly heal up all of that damage we've taken from Nidoking. There we go. I'm kind of not using Vileplume purely because Vileplume has no moves that could hit these things, or good enough at least. Absorb and Acid will do damage, but very little. And Cut obviously just has no effect, and I don't think Poison Powder would even work on a Ghastly, because they're Poison type anyway. So because of that, Bloom is the last person that's going to be trained. There is a battle coming up that I would like Bloom to take part in, but until then, Nidoking's going to take the front, assuming he doesn't hurt himself in confusion right here like he always does. God damn it. You can never trust Nidoking to do the work he wants to do. He is his own person. Does it always hurt yourself? Like, is that like a constant thing? It feels like it is. I think I should... Oh, I'm paralyzed now too. This is gonna be... I think Nidoking may faint here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's just use the escape rope. Let's just use an escape rope mid-battle. Just like, nope, I'm out of here. See ya. Okay, all I have to do is not die. That's gonna be hard now. I mean, I could just switch, but I want Nidoking to defeat it. I want Nidoking to do well, but against these Ghastlies, he's not pulling through. Oh my god. Okay, fine. You win. Yep. You do that. Now you're dead. Don't mess with me or my Nidoking ever again. Hey, Nidoking leveled up. It was all worth it. Key! Alright, let's quickly switch up and go Charizard at front. Give Charizard some XP. We haven't used him at all in this video. Actually, no, but that's a lie. We used him a little bit against the fight with Barry. There's another Wild Haunter. Now that he's a Charizard, I'm kind of hoping he'll be able to do a bit more damage with Ember. No! Anything he got... Okay. You really like doing that to me, don't you, game? You really like confusing me. No, Charizard just pulls on through. He just doesn't care. You can't confuse Charizard. Ah, maybe you can. I spoke too soon. He's gonna get paralyzed now, isn't he? No, he's not. There we go. No problems. Alright, let's get into another battle. Oh, God. I mean, it's creepy in here, but, like, some of the things they say are so dumb and funny. This is actually the last channel of the entire area, so you're nearly done with ghost types. You don't have to come in here again after this. After you take out this last ghastly, all will be fine. But the problem is, it has Confuse Ray, so if you don't have a move to one-shot it, you're in trouble. I'm just kind of waiting on Charizard to get Flamethrower. I believe it gets it somewhere in the early 40s or late 30s, so we're coming up to it. It'll just require a bit of training to get to, but there's no problem. Here's a rare candy that you're forced to pick up, so that's fun. Now, coming into this next thing, I didn't want to go into that, but sure. Hello, Vileplume. We want to switch you up to the front, because we have sort of a mini-boss. Begone, intruders. And we have a ghost! That's right, the ghost has appeared. We found it. Let's get the poltergeist and suck it up, and let's solve the mystery. The Silph Scope unveiled the ghost's identity. It's a Marowak. It's a Marowak. It's level 30. It's the highest thing you've battled so far. Level 30 Wild Marowak. Obviously, it's a ground type, as I've talked about before, and it can hit pretty hard. So, if you have a grass or water type, now's the time to use it. But I just want to show off something real quick. Never mind, I thought I had Pokeballs. I guess I'm not showing it off. I need to go get Pokeballs bad. Do I not have any? That's embarrassing. I thought I would at least have a few. You can't catch this Marowak because it is a ghost. If you try and capture the Marowak, it will just simply say that the Pokeball won't work or something. So don't even try and catch this Marowak. You'll just be wasting Pokeballs. Gives you a little bit of XP, but it's not really worth too much. You just gotta take it out to move on. I think you could also run away from it, but, I mean, you may as well battle it. The ghost was the restless soul of Cubone's mother. The mother's soul was calmed. It departed to the afterlife. And with that, Cubone's soul has been saved. So now, let's head to the top, because there's one more floor to go, and guess who's here? What do you want? Why are you here? Team Rocket has spread it to even the Pokemon Tower. And they're using the same things they always do. Yep, as if we thought we could get away from Team Rocket, but just the moment, we still can't get away from them. They're using level 25, so they're a little bit higher level than they were back in the other dungeon. But there's no real boss at the end here. There were just some Rocket goons up here that are trying to act cool, trying to, you know, kill Pokemon, because apparently that's what they do in this game. I mean, we heard earlier about how they killed Cubone's mother, the one we just helped depart into the afterlife by murdering it somehow, and now they're here trying to cause mischief again. So we got to try and take them out. Okay, this is the first time we've encountered a Golbat, and I just want to point out how freaking creepy that sprite is. Like, look at it. That is creepy as heck. Probably one of the weirdest... And that sound is ear-piercing. Just, like, some of the design choices in this game were weird. But, I mean, it kind of had to be, I guess. I mean, it was the original. I mean, Golbat sprites now are much better. This one is just creepy. I guess maybe that was what they were going for, because Golbat's kind of a bat, and they want them to be kind of interesting, but I don't know, man. Okay, got these two left. Then I think we're done. We just gotta take on these guys. This old guy came and complained about us harming useless Pokemon. We're talking it over as adults. I mean, I don't really know. Do you guys have whips? I wouldn't really call that... I mean, and you're kind of harassing an old man about you injuring Pokemon. I mean, I don't know. I think you're in the wrong, Mr. Rocket Guy, but, I mean, Sure, prove me wrong by using coughing against a poison type. I'll just... Okay, you missed smoke somehow. I didn't even know that was possible, but you managed to do it. Probably gonna switch off Vileplume here, unless his next Pokemon is, like, something it can actually take on, because of coughing's decent physical defense. Gain a bit of XP out of it though. Drowsy. Okay. Well, they told me. Well, I said I'd stay in if they ward in something interesting, and they did. So let's go for Acid. I could go for Absorb because it would get me some health back, and now I'm going to have to go for Absorb because my Cut. Oh, it disabled Cut. Never mind. As Acid then. I think we're fine. Drowsy goes down. Defeated the Naba Rocket. Please, no more! Pokemon are only good for making money. Stay out of our business. I mean, I just came here to look for Mr. Fuji so I could, you know, wake up Pokemon. There he is, with his soulless little beady eyes. You're not saving anyone, kid. Let's take this last guy on. He's got 4 Pokemon, oh man, he begins with Zubat, because of course he does. Let's go for Cuts. We have 19 PP of it left, so we should be fine. Goes down in nearly 1 hit, dang. I mean, like, I don't need to one-shot everything, as long as it does enough damage, I'm happy. So like, Vileplume being able to 2-shot Zubat, I'm fine with that. Especially because Cut isn't that good of a move, but it gives Vileplume additional, like, coverage so that it can actually do damage to things like poison types. Or, because obviously Absorb isn't going to do very much damage. Neither was Acid, so it's nice to have that move so that we can actually get some decent damage on those resistant Pokemon. Absorb is actually still doing decent damage considering how weak in power it is. I mean, you saw how well it worked against Giovanni, and Giovanni was using very high-leveled Rock-type Pokemon, so I'm very happy with how Vileplume's been performing since we added it to the team. Absorb isn't going to do too much damage, but I'm more or less relying on it keeping Vileplume alive. That's the main reason I'm using it. It's because I want to keep restoring HP. Eradicate is obviously going to keep using Quick Attack. We're going to be able to resist its damage quite well using Absorb. It'll basically take up all of the damage it would do to me. And I think he has 1 more left, and it is a Zubat. Because, of course, the Team Rocket's last line of defense is going to be a Zubat. It's like their trademark Pokemon, and it nearly went down in 1 hit. Well, I kind of want some health back, so we're going to finish this off with Absorb. Wow, that actually got us out of the beeping zone. That's good. Don't fight us, Rockets! You're not getting away with this. And he slowly walks away. Hello, friend, I came to save you. Heh, you came to save me? Thank you, but I came here of my own free will. I came to calm the soul of Cubone's mother. You didn't do a bloody good job, it came and attacked us! You've just been standing here. I think Marowak's spirit has gone to the afterlife. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home, Pokemon House, at the foot of this tower. We get teleport back, and let's talk to him. Joe. Your Pokedex quest may Oh, without love for your Okay, I thought it says your Pokedex quest will fail. That's it. That's it, just no more. You have no chance. I think this may help your quest. And we get a Pokeflute, a key item with a lot of use. Upon hearing Pokeflute, sleeping Pokemon will spring awake. It works on all sleeping Pokemon. Yep, so this is a nice key item that, when used, will wake any Pokemon in battle, and will it wake Pokemon in your party outside of battle? I don't know. But it will also awaken certain other things, which we'll get to next time. So, today we took out more criminal organizations from Team Rocket, we saved a bunch of women from being possessed by spirits, and we killed a spirit and sent it to the afterlife. Next time on Pokemon Red version, we're going to be beginning our quest to take on Erica, finally. Because I know you guys have probably been wanting me to do that for a couple of episodes now, but now it's time. See you guys then.